What's going on, y'all? Back with another reaction video today. If y'all hear the babies in the background, excuse me, man. Hey, it is what it is right now. We got a new video from Gym Live called "How the Lions Have Created One of the League's Best Offenses." Lions look like a team with a lot of potential. Look like a nice young team, man. And Jared Goff he been playing pretty solid. Last week played really good. Looked like they had a plan. I mean, they picked him up as a young quarterback. He wasn't that old. Don't have too much mileage on his body, still healthy. So has played in a Super Bowl, has some good IQ. So, he brings some stuff to the table. And then this receiving core is looking nice. When Jameson Williams come back, I'm pretty sure it's going to add a lot more depth and value to it. Have that speed threat. And again, Amon-Ra St. Brown was crazy. DeAndre Swift has been nice. Their run blocking has been pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and check this out, man. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section beforehand, and let's get to it.
The 2022 Detroit
Shout out to
Lions
Gym Live, man.
one of the most annoying teams opponents will have to play every week, regardless if they're favored or not. The Lions have almost scored the most points offensively in the entire NFL through the first 4 weeks, only tied with the Chiefs and 1 point less than the Buffalo Bills. And how they go about
First
it
2
isn't
weeks, I'm
the way
assuming.
a high-octane offense normally looks. It has looked good so far, and in this video, we're going to show you why it's only going to get better from this point on. Because what they're trying to do is clear, and the thing is, other teams just haven't been able to stop it to this point. The Lions are averaging over 7 yards per carry, and they're almost doing it exclusively between the tackles. And oh yeah, between their tackles, they're playing 3 backups. They're missing both Pro Bowl guards in Jonah Jackson and Vaitai, and their All-Pro center in Frank Ragnow, who are all expected to come back this season. They are bullying teams.
All right, he educated me. I didn't know that.
Being super creative with the rest of their playbook too when defenses get too aggressive trying to stop the run, and it has led to some explosive passing plays as well. And not to say they've been unstoppable or perfect, they haven't. They're still making some questionable decisions, like deciding to throw for it on 3rd and 4th and goal. Like, if you know you're going for it, why not run it on 3rd and either score and get closer? And they also still threw the ball 34 times in a game that they were never losing in, and after a 22-point halftime lead, they more so went away from the run game and let the other team back in it. But credit to the Lions, they responded multiple times on offense with touchdown drives and won the game when it felt like Lion teams of the past would have almost certainly lost that game. So, we need to check out this Detroit offense and take a closer look, because we've been talking culture for a few years now with this team, but now we get to talk real football with the Lions, because they played incredibly well up to this point, and they're only going to get better as they get more healthy with their offensive line. And later on in the season, we will see the most explosive receiver out of the draft back on the field as well in Jameson Williams. So let's see what they're doing well and what they still need to work on. There's obviously a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. And to set the stage of how this film breakdown is going to go is we have a lot of clips, but we're only going to cover the first 2 to 3 plays very slowly and in depth to understand how the play was executed, and then we'll go through the rest of them quickly and cover the core concepts of their rushing attack. And then we'll see how they've been able to be creative with the rest of their offense, all predicated off of these rushing concepts that set up explosive plays, which has led them to be one of the highest scoring offenses in the first few weeks of the season. And the 2 things we need to note before we get into this play is these 3 guys right here, guard, center, guard, are all backups, backing up either Pro Bowl or All-Pro caliber players. And if we look at how the Commanders are lined up on defense, they have 8 in the box. So
It's nice to have some depth on your defensive line, but to have some depth on your offensive line, that's new. That's new to me. I don't think you really see that too much. So I guess when them guys come back, that's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out, and just the rotations that they can do, and rotation that they can create, and how good they'll be. It'll be interesting.
The Lions are showing run, the Commanders are ready for the run, but we're gonna see it doesn't matter if you execute properly. And we're going to get some counter action on this play, and we're going to cover what all 8 players are supposed to do on this play, and we'll see how they execute it. So we're going to have a double here with the guard and tackle, and then the guard is going to leak and get to the 2nd level defender. The center's going to back block, and the tackle and tight end are also going to back block. And the tight end on the play side, TJ Hawkinson, he's going to bluff here and get to the second level so that the right tackle is going to be able to pull through and get this edge defender. And we're going to get a short motion from the tight end. He's going to come across the field and wham block this play side linebacker. And everything happens so fast. When we really get to slow things down and go frame by frame, it really is poetry in motion. And as we see this play develop, we see on the right side of your screen this double start to develop, the center back blocking, the guard and the wham tight end blocker pulling through, getting perfect leverage. And we see this double team on the right side of your screen just move bodies and create a pile. And no wonder the Lions are averaging 7 yards a carry with holes like these. DeAndre Swift could go to the ground and somersault for 5 yards.
Execution
before he gets touchdown. And so when the defense is ready for it, they put 8 in the box. If you execute properly, you are able to run at a high level. So one more time, with 3 backups in there, being able to execute the play perfectly, be physical, move bodies against a good defensive line, and create a huge rushing lane for your running back, who can create his own runs, as we'll see later in this video. And I know that last play took a while, so we'll only cover one more play in depth, but we have another counter trap action, but I really want you to pay attention. We have a 3 technique right here, but it's all about this double team. They're going to take this 3 technique all the way to the opposite 1 technique. And this play only works if they can get the movement of this 3 technique and get to the second level linebacker. And as the center down blocks this 3 technique, this tackle is able to pull through and trap this nose technique. And if he can get movement, there's going to be a huge hole right up the middle. Let's see if it happens. And I don't think I'd be showing you guys this clip if it didn't work out, so watch this double team, watch how they move bodies, center down blocks, tackle gets through, and as soon as Javonte Williams is at the point of contact and is about to get the handoff, it looks completely closed off, but once he gets it, Moses parting the Red Sea, the hole opens up, and he sees nothing but green grass in front of him. Penny Sewell's able to get off the double team block a little bit late, but he's still able to get to the second level. Javonte Williams makes a nice cut, and he gets to the third level without being touched.
Jamal Williams.
This happened over and over throughout the first 2 games. And here the Lions are in 13 set, 3 tight ends on the field, 1 running back, and the Commanders have 7 in the box. This is about the equivalent of putting 8 in the box when you go empty set. When you have the line that the Lions do and you have the running back in DeAndre Swift that's explosive and has great field vision, this is how you get 50+ yard plays.
And they knew they were going to run too. Like, that was clear run formation. Any pass would have been like a short pass or a play action. But yeah, that's pretty wild, man. They saw what was coming. May not have known what gap or what hole it was in, but
the line that the Lions do, and you have the running back in DeAndre.
You know, I'm curious. Was it supposed to go that way, or was it supposed to go,
when you go
to the right?
Set, when you have the line that the Lions do, and you have the
he just take what they gave him. I mean, it was up the middle, so
DeAndre Swift.
Ooh, it looked like he had 2 options. I ain't gonna lie. Excuse me, sorry.
Empty set. When you have the line that the Lions do, and you have the
like behind the center right here, it looked like he had two options. It's like, hey, whichever one's open. It's like, was it like inside zone or something? Y'all let me know.
That's explosive and has great field vision. This is how you get 50+ yard plays like you see the Chiefs do, running up and down the field with all their speed. They're just doing it in a different way.
Oh, okay. It looked a little different from that angle. It looked different from that angle.
This is his second 50+ yard rushing attempt in his first 2 games. And it's only going to get better when they get their Pro Bowlers and All-Pro backs. But it's 7 yards a carry. It's not like it's feast or famine either. It's usually feast, 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 and then an even bigger feast. The Commanders just had no answer all game long, and that's why it was really confusing why the Lions ever went away, especially when they got the lead and when you had this dynamic running game. But maybe you're just not a believer in the Commanders' defensive line or their rushing defense, but let's look back to week 1 against the Eagles, an Eagles defense that just held Vikings running backs to 25 yards in the entire game. The playing field is a little bit more even now as we have Frank Ragnow and Jonah Jackson back in the game. but the concepts stay the exact same. I know it's not the most flashy thing, and I have a lot more fun breaking down good quarterback play and how these offensive-minded gurus come up with the most creative passing concepts, but the Lions are going to be annoying to play week in and week out because they dominate the line of scrimmage. And we can go into the Lions' defensive line of scrimmage because they did a very similar thing, Aiden Hutchinson having 3 sacks in the first half, but it was just so much fun to watch and how dynamic they are, and they're going to be doing this all season long. And they had some very cool formations. They did zone running schemes, traps, counters.
That man shifty.
Looks like
oh
you're
my
watching
gosh.
the 49ers in the 1970s. They came out in a 2-back split set. This was just awesome to watch start to finish. But now let's start to look into some plays, how they've really opened up their playbook and been able to get creative off of their highly successful rushing attack. And one of the coolest things I think I saw the Lions do was get the defense in very uncomfortable positions with what defensive packages they're in. So we see the Lions overloaded to the right side of the line with 13 set. That means we have 3 tight ends and 1 running back. So an obvious rushing formation. So the Commanders, they're going to put 8 in the box to try and combat the run, and puts them in a really lose-lose situation because we saw earlier, even if they put 8 in the box, they still weren't able to stop it. But the Lions go from 13 set, and they think they haven't athletic enough tight ends to go into empty set. DeAndre Swift, a very good receiving back. Defense has to adjust last second. They're not in dime. They're not in nickel to combat this. Jared Goff reads cover 3, able to hit his tight end.
That was a good pass.
And what are you supposed to do here? Because you have to be ready, and you have to respect their running game. But if Goff's able to step back and just be able to dissect the defense, if you get a really good mismatch in there, let's say on a play like this, he drops back, gets an easy 3-4 yard completion, and let's say the defense gets caught in a dime package. Now, maybe they go no huddle bet right up to the line, and they run 13 set, and they're going to run it right down your throat. So them being able to play with their sets from going to 13 overload to empty set is something I thought
that's a luxury in having Swift being able to line up a receiver and be able to take them snaps pretty well.
With Amon-Ra St.
Who was the other running back they had last year? They had.
He's going to go in this bluff motion 3 separate times on.
I know Jamal Williams wasn't the starter.
And they're just gathering information.
It was Swift and somebody else, I think.
And so the first time he goes in motion, they just bump down the linebackers. It's a clear tell of zone. There's no one following him across the field, and they're just going to hand it off. And later in the game, they're going to put Amon-Ra in this same motion, but they look like they got the Commanders in man coverage. This corner's eyeing him down, and this corner is going to follow Amon-Ra all the way across the field. So again, this doesn't mean anything now. They're just gathering more information. And now, 1 series later, they get the box that they like. They see man coverage. They see the corner. They see Amon-Ra. They're going to put him in the same motion. But what they're going to do is they know they can take away 2 players at one. They know he's going to be in man-to-man coverage, so this receiver is going to run a slant. But what he's actually doing is he's going to be blocking the guy that's going to be following Amon-Ra across the field. And he thinks he's going to be running a slant, so he's going to be locked in on this route. And so being patient, gathering information, seeing how the defense plays against your run and your play action. And so now when you go in motion, you're going to hand it off to Amon-Ra. And now we see the corner in man coverage. We're going to see the receiver get the block, be able to pick up Amon-Ra's guy. And before the corner even realizes, he's up the sideline for another 50-yard gain. This is how you have a high-octane, big chunk play offense without forcing the ball down the field. And probably the most obvious way to capitalize off a good rushing attack is play action. The linebackers and safeties are going to bite in. Jared Goff capitalized this multiple times in the game, throwing for 4 touchdowns in this game. And when you get play action, set up a screen game, just the way that Ben Johnson and MCDC have been setting up this offense, it's been so creative. And now looking at hindsight with how good the Eagles' defense was, it's even more so impressive looking back on it. And having a good rushing attack is cool, but it's only going to get you so far. But we've also seen the Lions be down big against the Eagles and make a very good comeback. And a lot of this has to do with the emergence of a rising star in Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Boy, him and Amon-Ra was connecting, man.
Is going to give them the deep play threat that Amon-Ra is going to thrive over. He's not the fastest guy, but he
a play like this, too, Jameson Williams is gone. You know, it is not discrediting Amon-Ra. He had a great performance, but like he just noted Jameson Williams, him in this position, is done. That's TD.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Jamison Williams coming back in this lineup is going to give them the deep play threat that Amon-Ra is going to thrive over. He's not the fastest guy, but he is a technician. And if you haven't been watching Gem Live for more than a year now, I could have told you this.
They're going to be nice.
My biggest sleeper in the entire draft. But he has really come into his own in this offense, and Jared Goff looks a lot more comfortable. He looks like he did with the Rams in that 2018 when they had the #1 offense in the league, where he's really comfortable handing the ball off, working play action, and he has a good enough arm with a good offensive line to dissect the defense, and he's been a lot more smart, and a big part of this is his new favorite target in Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, are the Lions going to win the Super Bowl? No. I mean, have we seen the Bills play? But what I'm saying is we've been talking about this team for 2 years now.
I ain't gonna lie. I literally just watched a video about the Bills defense, and I'm just thinking like, okay, yeah, Lions nice, but then I'm thinking about the Bills defense in the back of my mind too. So it's ironic how he just said that. Like I literally just watched it, Alex Rollins video on a review of the Bills defense, how they've been playing.
Now they are a real squad with a lot of potential and are only.
That's the word. They have a lot of potential, so we'll see how everything plays out.
And they have the chance to beat several teams this year that are going to be favored going in. But since they play bully ball, they can control the clock, put up points, and get after the quarterback. They've been able to do it against the Eagles with one of the best rush defenses, and they've been able to do it without 3 Pro Bowl caliber starters on their offensive line. I really hope this video was helpful in showing you how, if you're at home scratching your head wondering how in the world the Lions are scoring so many points, but how I started this video, they are no doubt going to be one of the most annoying teams opponents will play week in and week out. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think about this Lions team, maybe what their record can be, or how do you think they've improved year to year. And as always, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. Thank you all so much for watching.
Well, hey, good vid. Y'all subscribed to him. I didn't even realize. But good vid, man. Shout out to Gem Live. I need to check some more of his videos out. I'm subscribed to a decent amount of football channels that I don't watch, but I subscribe to them. Like I come across content, be like, hey, that looks like an interesting video. Hit subscribe so I can watch it, come across it later. So this was a good video. So shout out to him. Let me know your thoughts on the Lions, man. And what do y'all think this season or future how to play out for them? Hit the like button for me, subscribe, stay tuned, stay blessed.